with that, I'll take your questions. Yes?
Thanks. I wanted to ask about the President's statement this morning on the interrogation methods. He said, he repeated, obviously, like he did yesterday, that the government doesn't torture, the U.S. government doesn't torture people. But these memos make it sound like the definition of what's permissible is so expansive that you could say we don't torture, and almost anything can be true falling into that. What do you say to that?
Well, what I say is that the United States policy and our laws is not to torture. Yes, we do interrogate al-Qaeda terrorists. These are people who intend to harm us. We do not torture them.
So where is the line between harsh but legal interrogation and torture?
The experts have debated that. They have come up with an opinion. It is there for everyone to see. There's a public document that interprets the statute that is from the Office of Legal Opinion from the Justice Department. It's on the website for anybody to read.
Yeah, I went back and read the 2004 memo.
Did you get through the whole thing?
To get through it. I was looking for a definition of torture, because we know that in 2002 it defined it a certain way, and then the 2004 memo was intended to redefine it, or to, I believe, broaden the definition of torture. And I wasn't sure if I came up with the definition. I mean, well, I saw language that said specifically intended to inflict severe physical or mental pain or suffering. Is that the definition from the 2004?
I don't have the document with me, and so let me decline on that. But what I will tell you is that you might not have gotten to the parts of the footnotes of that document in which it says that it's their legal conclusion that in the analysis and looking at the earlier memo that their legal justification that it would have been I would just have to refer you to the Department of Justice. It's a very complicated legal matter.
Why can't the White House articulate a definition of torture rather than just saying go read the memo, which is, you know, extremely dense?
It is extremely dense. It's very complicated. I'm not going to do it from here. I'm not a lawyer.
Why can't the White House come up with some definition other than just saying we don't torture?
Well, I think that the question is part of, I could speculate, and I shouldn't. I do think that it's appropriate that applications of the laws and techniques are kept secret, and I don't think that providing those to the American public would serve them well.
But the American people can't for themselves decide if what is being done in their name is appropriate or not. It's something they agree with or not.
I disagree. I think that the American people recognize that there are needs that the federal government has to keep certain information private in order to help their national security. We cannot provide more information about techniques. It's not appropriate.
I'm asking for a definition so that instead of any kind of wink wink or you understand or here's what we think torture is.
Part of that, in my opinion, part of that is then detailing out techniques, which we would not do. I'm not going to get into specifics. I'm not going to get into specific tactics.
This is the whole issue right here.
Well,
what is the president's policy? What is his thoughts? I mean, I think a lot of people...
I told you what the policy is. The policy is that the United States does not torture.
Dana, why did the President feel the need today to weigh in on the subject of the CIA interrogation program in what was ostensibly to be a statement on the economy? Did he feel that the disclosures about the harsh treatment of detainees was somehow casting the administration in a bad light?
No, he wants to make sure that the American people know that first and foremost he's going to do everything he can within the law to make sure that they are protected from terrorists who want to harm us. And secondly, he wanted to make sure people knew that we do not torture. There is no torture. I think the President today wanted to make sure that given that there is so much interest going on 2 days, that he had an opportunity when he saw members of the press that he take that opportunity to remind everybody of we are in a war. One of the things he's really concerned about is that every day that we get farther away from 9/11, that people will start forgetting the threats that we're under. Al-Qaeda is very serious. They're very patient. And the best source of information about how they're trying to harm us is from the terrorists themselves. Appropriate members of the Congress were briefed. Intelligence Committee members were briefed.
And so they're saying, you know, one of their complaints, obviously, is that these memos were done in secret. They're secret memos.
I think the word secret is getting a little bit too much. It takes on the air of mystery, but one of the reasons they are secret is because they need to be. They need to be cloaked in the classified system so that we can keep that information private. We have talked about this a lot. There is a lot of information out there as to how the United States is going to deal with this. The policy of the United States that the President follows is not to torture people. And I believe that the members that have been briefed are satisfied that the policy of the United States and the practices do not constitute torture.
But Dana, what have they been briefed on? If they haven't actually seen like the 2005 legal opinions, they've just been briefed in general. You're selecting what they see.
What I can tell you, and I have been assured that they have been fully briefed.
Fully briefed on the actual memos.
Yes.
And okay, so then why are people like Senator Jay Rockefeller, he's the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, saying I'm getting more information from the New York Times than from the White House?
I don't know, but I checked, and I am confident that the members were briefed.
When you
Okay,
say
In
they're
the past,
briefed,
though-
Dana, do you mean they are shown the techniques, they have the techniques explained to them, they understand what the techniques are?
I don't know. These are held in a classified setting. They're classified for a reason, and so I don't know what they are shown.
And when you said they were briefed on the memos, did they see those memos, or just were they just?
I don't know. I don't know. I've been told they were fully briefed, and we feel confident that the information they were provided gives them the information that they need.
Why leave any ambiguity out there?
I
Why
think
not
the
let
key word
these
is
mem-
if, and I don't think there is ambiguity.
But there
We
is-
are
so
not
you said there was
torturing.
no shift in
Well,
policy
what
from
would make it better? What would make it better? That we should tell everybody exactly what we have? You want to know the techniques that we use so we can tell exactly Al-Qaeda what we're going to do? That's absurd.
No, but these members of Congress, not us, these members of Congress have security clearances. They see classified information all the time.
And the intelligence community was fully
You're
briefed.
saying that they did not. They were not fully briefed. You're saying fully briefed. That's your definition of fully briefed, just like it's your definition of torture. Jay Rockefeller, the chairman of the Intelligence Committee, is saying they haven't seen the memos. So how can they be fully briefed if they haven't seen the memos? And why did you keep them secret if there's nothing in there that you're trying to hide?
The memos are applications that fall within the law, which is to not torture. It is absolutely important and it's critically important that we keep this information secret.
Goldsmith, you've got Jim Comey come forward and raise questions about whether or not it's been legal. It's not just Democrats on the Hill. People in your own Justice Department.
And I've said that reasonable people can disagree on complex questions. I don't think there is ambiguity. We are
so
not
you said there's
torturing.
no-
I am not saying that reasonable people couldn't look at something and disagree when it comes to legal opinions. But the legal opinion of the United States is that we do not torture.